Wow, I have been buying NVIDIA graphics cards for over 10 years now, and I've never seen such a disappointing and horrible launch ever. Imagine you just bought the new 5060 Ti, 8 GB of VRAM for a steal of a price of just like $600 or so, just to find out it can't even play some of the new games. Imagine trying to load up Indiana Jones and the Great Circle to just have it crash. So you naturally go, well, why? Well, turns out NVIDIA has shipped this card with 8 GB of VRAM, which is basically unplayable in 2025. I mean, the PS4 back in 2015, a decade ago, had 8 GB of VRAM, so 10 years later, you'd think a graphics card for a computer would have more than that. But no need to worry, it's not just that card that sucks. All of NVIDIA's cards this year are severely limited in their VRAM and can barely play any of the games released this year. Meanwhile, everybody buying AMD cards with nearly double or triple the VRAM and somehow less of a price are gaming away, smiling ear to ear. And where do I even begin with this video? NVIDIA card prices are through the roof. Some of these cards are genuinely nearly $3,000, and these cards aren't even good. There's benchmarks showing that some of these cards perform basically the same as the RTX 4000 series from 3 years ago. I mean, what's going on here, guys? I'm a big NVIDIA fan and I am appalled. I was waiting to buy a new graphics card all year and I genuinely cannot bring myself to do it. There's no point. I'm Tommy from VecTech. We're going to discuss everything horrible about this launch and how it's dead on arrival and what NVIDIA needs to do to earn our business again. So I think we've all heard the news this past week about the 5060 Ti launch. I mean, this has got to be some sort of joke. Let me get this straight. The 5060 Ti, which is supposed to be a worse card than the 5070, has more VRAM than the 5070, question mark, but also the 5060 Ti also has an 8 GB VRAM version, again the same VRAM the PS4 from 10 years ago had. I mean, I'm barely 3 sentences in and this doesn't even begin to make sense. Why does a 5070 have 12 GB of VRAM, which by the way just like isn't enough? All these new ray tracing games require a minimum of 12 GB of VRAM, so my games constantly just freeze and stutter. Then somehow they launched a card with 2 different VRAM amounts, with one being horribly low and one being higher than the next card in the lineup. And I know what you're thinking, well, at least the 5060 Ti has to be a good value price, right? Oh, the 5060 Ti is legitimately like $500 to $600. Just a few years ago, the 60 series cards were considered value console beater cards that you could buy for like $200, $300 and it would be way better than the console. Now you're paying like more than a console and getting worse performance. What has happened with the graphics card pricing from NVIDIA? Top end card, the 5090, is genuinely $3,000. I mean, that is just insane. And if you ever thought you wanted a 5070, bam, $1,500. Like, these graphics cards are genuinely like 5 times the price of a PS5 Pro. And honestly, at that point, I just buy the PS5 so you get the best value of your dollar. The budget options are more expensive than just buying a console, and the expensive options are going to be the price of a used car here pretty soon. There's genuinely no point in spending that much money on a gaming PC. If you want to, that's fine, no hate, but I think I speak for a lot of us that don't have that money to do that. And it's just unfair that NVIDIA wants to make people sell their house and car just to buy a graphics card. The awful performance, I mean, what is this, man? If they brought some revolutionary graphics cards like the 2016 Pascal generation, I could get behind the prices, but these cards just suck. Genuinely, someone tells me that they have a 5070 compared to my 4070, and they're honestly like the same card. I mean, what, there's like a 5 FPS difference, but they spent like $900 to $1,000 for that card. None of these cards have a good enough performance boost to even think about justifying spending $1,000 to upgrade. And all the problems that came with these cards too. Driver problems have plagued these cards as well, with so many reports of the card drivers basically breaking people's computers and them having to spend hours to fix it all over Reddit. There's been reports of these cards having massive heating problems, and that's coupled with them drawing a ton of electricity in the first place, like way more than the 40 series did. Basically, in nice terms, there hasn't been any improvements to this generation over the last, especially not at the price points they want us to buy it at. So I just say don't buy. I was happy to see this Iceberg Tech video today stating buy nothing, and I agree, I'm done. I'm not buying a 50 series NVIDIA card unless they drop the prices massively, and even then I'm probably just not buying one at all. There's no point. The simple thing to do for you guys watching is just vote with your wallet. AMD, the other graphics card maker, has very competitive cards out right now that are much cheaper and have tons of more VRAM and have great performance, and you'll be able to game without problems and not worry about getting screwed over on a bad deal. If you've seen my other videos, AMD is catching up to NVIDIA fast with ray tracing performance and just overall is a much better value. Problem is, when people buy these new NVIDIA cards, it lets them get away with it. And I like NVIDIA. Their cards have treated me well, don't get me wrong. I've had NVIDIA cards for the last 10 years, But this video needs to be a wake-up call for them. They're treating their consumers bad and they're losing people quickly. I really hope that they make a change because this is awful and I'm definitely not buying another NVIDIA card at this rate. I'm Tommy from VecTech. Please subscribe if you want more PC gaming talks, discussion, and other news, and hit that like button if you enjoyed. Now, most importantly, share in the comments below what you think of this all. I want to hear from you guys. Maybe I'm just over exaggerating. Maybe I'm just seeing something wrong. Tell me what you guys think about this below. Take care.